So I restarted R and I lost everything that I had. But because I had a file, I can just, load the Chicago employees again. I don't care about bananas or tax or anything. This was an example for the early videos, but I'm going to work with this. So I just position myself on this line and click on this guy, and I've loaded that. If I want to view that data, see chi-emps here. If I want to view that data, I type view with a capital V, chi-emps, and I will see this data here. I have a name, position, title, department, and employee salary. Now look at all the departments that I have. Okay, I have a bunch of departments, but I don't know how many. So in order to access and see how many do I have, I can do this, levels, chi-emps, and the levels are the unique values of what column? Well, the column is going to be department. That's the column that I care about. So it gives me all the unique values, all the possible departments. R displays a lot of data like this. You notice the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. This is basically the number assigned. So the first level is nothing. The second level is admin hearing. Now this line here starts with the third level, which is an animal control. And then the fourth level is aviation. Then the fifth level is Board of Elections. So I can say, for example, this one here, I know that this is the 23rd level, right? And this is the 24th. And law is the 25th, because that's the index here. So basically this number indicates the index of the first value here. And you can just add 1 for the next one, right? Now, one thing that's important to do in data frames is to be able to filter them by some criteria. So for example, I want to see, for example, police salaries, okay? So police, that's going to be my variable. I'm going to assign it the following value. I'm going to assign the employee's salary, employee annual salary, okay? But I'm going to filter this. I'm going to say only of the rows here, let's look here, only the rows that have police in the department. So I'm going to say employee salary only where chi-emps department, and then 2 equals to signify comparison for equality, police, and it's all caps, so that's important. Okay, so then I go, and because this is just one column, I don't need to specify rows and columns in the square braces. So go, and this is going to give me just the salaries of police. So I can do, if I do police here, I will see all the salaries, and then a bunch of them are omitted. But if I want to know which record does this correspond to, well, it's 931, that's what this one, 932, 933, 934, this would be 935, record 935. Okay, you want to know who's that person, record 935, you would do chi-emps name 935, and you get that it's Argetta, Vicky Argetta, right? So you have these this way to do data, and now I can do what's the average for the police salaries, right? It's $86,000. That's the average salary of a police officer in Chicago, right? Over someone working in a police department. So you can filter this data by specifying some criteria by which to filter. Now, this can get really complicated. Just filtering for the police department gave us, this this big line. Imagine if I wanted police only that which title was police officer. I can enter it in this syntax, and you're welcome to look at it, right? But we're going to use a different method to do these kinds of things and to do data manipulation. And that is DPLYR. That's what it's called. In order to have DPLYR, in order to work with DPLYR, we need to install a package in your R distribution. You do this only once in your R distribution, okay? So in order to install DPLYR, you will say install packages, and then in quotes, DPLYR. How do I know this? Well, I know it because I read the packages, and by the time you install a few packages, you'll know where to look for these names. But this is the name of the package. Somebody coded this to make this kind of data manipulations a lot easier. So I will hit enter, and this is going to install the package DPLYR. It's going to take a little bit, and it's going to go online and display a window like that one, and then install the package. It's downloaded, and now it's installed. Okay, you might get slightly different output or the same output. As long as you don't get any errors here, all is good. Now, because this is a command that I might want to use again, usually you only need to do this once, but I'm just going to save it in my file. Now I'm going to start organizing the file. I don't care about banana prices anymore. That was an example. So I can put this. This is hash sign. The hashtag is something that I can write that is not an R command, and it's not going to be interpreted. It's not going to be executed. So I can say load libraries, right? And that is the library that I want, or install packages. I'm sorry. This is install packages. Install packages, right? Now, the fact that I've installed DPLYR, I cannot just go ahead and use it. To use it, I have to what's called load the package into my distribution. And I do that by saying library DPLYR. Now I get help for this, to do this, right? Now I can use all of DPLYR that I want. You might get some messages, again, as long as you don't have an error, all is fine. I'm going to copy this and put it there. So now I can do library DPLYR. I can just use it. Now, every time you start R, you want to do library DPLYR. You do it once per time that you start R. This one, you only do once every time you install R, because you're going to install RStudio once. You do just this once, because you're going to work with DPLYR in many projects. For every project, every time you open R, you want to make sure that you have library DPLYR loaded. So here's how DPLYR works. DPLYR is pretty nifty in that it gives R a lot of extra commands to use. For example, it gives you commands to group data, right? So for example, I want to say departments, the salary by departments. Okay, I'm going to have the data group by departments. So I'm going to say group by, okay. I'm going to group by some data. What data am I going to group by? Well, chi-emps. That's the data frame that I'm going to make groups of. And the groups are going to be based on what column? Oh, maybe department. Right? And then here's what I can do. I can view departments, right? View departments. And here it is, position title and departments. I see all the departments here. This looks just like the old data, but it's grouped. You will see how in an instant. This departments is a grouped data. Trust me that it's grouped. It looks just like your regular data, but it's grouped. Now, let's do something with this group. Let's believe that it's grouped by departments, and let's do the following. Why don't we, if we have it grouped by departments, right? If we have it grouped by departments, we can compute the salary of each department, right? So I can do salaries, right? It's going to be, I'm going to summarize the grouped data. The grouped data, now it's called departments, right? It's right here, departments, right? That's my group data. and I'm going to summarize it, and I'm going to create a new column called the average salary, for example, AVG salary, okay? And that is going to be the mean of the employee annual salary column, right? So here's what I'm doing here. Salaries, I'm going to summarize my group data, which is called departments. And what I'm going to do, the things that I'm going to summarize, I'm going to add a column called average salary, okay? Average salary with, and the average salary is going to be a computation. It's going to be the mean of the employee annual salary in this group data. So now let's look and view the salaries. Oops. Salaries. If I view the salaries, I get all the departments just once and the average salary of a person in that department. Right? So you see how I'm manipulating data at this point, right? Another thing that I can do is to filter, right? So I can filter data. So I can say, for example, police is going to be filter. The data that I'm going to filter is the Chicago employees, right? And my filter is going to be that the column department is going to be police. And now if I view this data, this police data, you see that these are all in the police department, right? The department is always police. This is only the police, right? And what if I want just police officers, right? If I want police officers, I can do police is department equals police, and the and is an ampersand, and position dot title, that's the column, title equals police officer. So now I'm filtering data, and you can see that this changes just the police officers, right? Now, I'm going to write these things because I might actually want this later on. So I'm going to put it in my file. And from now on, I might start just writing in my file. There's no point in writing in the console at this point because I can write it in my file. I'm going to skip all the views, and I'm going to skip that police. Okay. All right. So if I want to know now what's the mean salary of a police officer, right? I can do the mean of police, because that's only the police officer employee annual salary, right? And that's 82,000. I can do something else too. With the functions that DPLYR provides, I can do the following. Now I'm going to do it up here. Okay, I'm going to switch to working up here. I can do police salary. Police salaries is going to be, I'm going to summarize police, right? I'm going to put average salary equals, it's the mean of employee annual salary. Okay, so that's going to be my salaries. I'm in that line. I'll execute that line, and it was executed, right? So police salaries, I forgot an R. That's fine. So let's see what the police salaries are. The average salary, again, right there. So DPLYR allows me to group data, summarize data, filter data. It allows me to do a couple more things. I can select certain kinds of data. I can mutate, so change the data, and do other stuff with the data, and I can arrange data. Okay. These are functions, but this makes data management very easy to do. You have to get used to some of these functions, okay? Once we use them, we can create really interesting plots, and that's the topic of the next video.